Wow, an unbelievable ending to Game 4 of the NLDS between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Pitching matchup in this one, we've got Christopher Sanchez versus Tyler Glasnow. Everyone was talking about this pitching matchup coming into this game, and boy, did it deliver. Top of the first inning, Turner strikes out, Schwarber doubles, Harper grounds out, Bohm walks, so 2 on, 2 out early for the Phillies, and Marsh strikes out, ending any threat. Bottom of the first inning, Ohtani pops out, Betts strikes out, and Teoscar lines out. So a quick inning for the Dodgers. Top of the second, 1-2-3 inning, Real Muto lines out, Kepler strikes out, and Castellanos grounds out. Bottom of the second, Freeman leads things off with a single, Tommy Edman lines out, and then Will Smith grounds into a 5-4-3 double play. Top of the third inning, Stott grounds out, Turner grounds out, and Schwarber strikes out. So Glasnow settled down after that first inning. Bottom of the third, Alex Call is hit by a pitch. Kike Hernandez reaches on a fielder's choice. Pages strikes out. Ohtani reaches on a fielder's choice, throwing error by the third baseman. And then Mookie will ground out to end the third. So, pitching duel is in full effect. 3 innings, only a couple of base runners. Glasnow and Sanchez are pitching incredibly. Top of the fourth, Harper lines out, Bohm walks, Marsh with a fielder's choice, and Real Muto will ground out. Bottom of the fourth, Teoscar strikes out, Freeman grounds out, and Edman grounds out. Kind of a pattern here. You can see on this side of the board, it's a lot of black. Not much is going on, just because both these pitchers are just phenomenal. Top of the fifth, Kepler leads off with a walk. Leadoff walks are not good. Castellanos strikes out, Stott strikes out, Kepler steals the base on that, almost a strike him out, throw him out, and then Turner grounds out, no damage done. Bottom of the fifth, Will Smith strikes out, Alex Call singles, Kike lines out, and Andy Pages grounds into a fielder's choice. Ends the fifth inning, and still nothing happening. Going on to the sixth, the writing gets a little bit smaller. I already filled up most of the board on this side, and then I just had the feeling this game was going to go extra innings, right, to redo it, so wording is a little small. But yeah, moving on to the top of the sixth inning. Schwarber strikes out, Harper grounds out, Alec Bohm with a single, and Marsh strikes out. Bottom of the sixth, Ohtani strikes out, Betts singles, and Teoscar singles. So 2 on, 1 out for the Dodgers. Big moment in the ball game. Freddie Freeman's going to ground into a fielder's choice. Still 2 on and 2 out, and Tommy Edman grounds out to Christopher Sanchez to end the inning. So no damage still. We're through 6, no score. That's going to end the day for Tyler Glasnow at only 83 pitches, and he was really cruising. He was phenomenal in this one. I know he relieved earlier in the playoffs, but to take him out this early, I personally found it very interesting. See how it plays out for them. Emmett Sheehan's going to come in. Real Muto will immediately single. Kepler's going to reach on a fielder's choice, throwing error by the pitcher. And he'll get to second base on that. And Nick Castellanos takes advantage of the error. He hits an RBI double, giving the Phillies a 1-0 lead in the top of the 7th inning. Looking pretty solid for the Phillies now they got that run on the board. Stott will fly out and Turner strikes out, but the damage has been done. It's 1-0. Bottom of the 7th, Will Smith grounds out. Alex Call walks again. Not the guy you want to walk at near the bottom of the order. Kike Hernandez singles, so it's 2 on, 1 out. Phillies don't play any games. They go right to Yohan Duran, their closer, to try and get out of this jam. Justin Dean is going to pinch run for Alex Call. Pages is going to ground out. They intentionally walk Ohtani, which immediately kind of bites them in the butt. Mookie Betts walks with the bases loaded in a good at-bat, got to full count, but the game is tied 1-1. That Ohtani walk may come back and haunt Rob Thompson and the Phillies because he was 1 for 17 in this series with 8 strikeouts. Maybe wanted to pitch to him here with your closer. We'll never know how it would have turned out because of the intentional walk, but it's something to note going into the end of this ball game. And then Yohan Duran will get Teoscar to strike out, but tie game going into the 8th inning. Roki Sasaki comes in, looking to maybe eat up a few innings. He can start. So Kyle Schwarber's going to fly out. Harper pops out and Bohm grounds out. Bottom of the 8th, Yohan Duran stays in the game, gets Freeman to strike out, Edman grounds out, and he strikes out Will Smith. Not as much on this side. Like I said earlier, I was expecting to fill this board up. I thought this game was going 15 innings at the way that it was going. Top of the 9th, Marshall ground out, Real Muto strikes out, and Kepler pops out. Bottom of the 9th, Matt Strom relieves Yohan Duran. He does well. He gets Muncy, who pinch hits, flying out to center field. Kike Hernandez strikes out, and Andy Pages flies out. Top of the 10th, we're going to extra innings. Exactly how you wanted this ball game to go, with the Phillies fighting for their lives, trying to force a Game 5 on Saturday. Castellanos is going to ground out. Stott strikes out, and Turner flies out. So Roki Sasaki with 3 solid innings pitched in this one. He pitches the 8th, 9th, and 10th. Jesus Luzardo comes in for the Phillies. And you never know, starting pitchers who haven't relieved in a really long time. I think last time he relieved when he was still with the A's. You want to establish early, and that's exactly what he does. He gets Ohtani to strike out, Betts to fly out, and Teoscar to strike out. And he looks like maybe, remember Nathan Eovaldi a few years ago in that Dodgers-Red Sox series? He was cruising for the Red Sox in those extra innings, pitched 7 innings in that one. I had the feeling that Luzardo could do something similar. Alex Vesia comes in for the Dodgers, gets Schwarber to ground out, walks Harper, Bohm flies out, and then a wild pitch. So runner on second and 2 outs. Harrison Bader pinch hits, really good at bat. I think it was 11 pitches, but he strikes out swinging, ending the Phillies' threat. Now the bottom of the 11th, Luzardo's still in. He'll get Freddie Freeman to strike out. Tommy Edman reaches on a single. Hae-Sung Kim will come in to pinch run for Edman because Edman's ankle's been bothering him a little bit. Will Smith will fly out. So now there's 2 outs in the inning. Max Muncy gets his single, and Orion Kerkering is coming in to relieve Jesus Luzardo. He will face Kike Hernandez in this one. So Max Muncy reaches second on the defensive indifference. It's not a stolen base. Defense didn't care. He just takes second base because that run doesn't matter. The runner on third is the one that matters most. Kike Hernandez walks, and it is bases loaded, 2 outs, and Andy Pages coming to the plate. Phillies fans, it's awful how the season ended, how the game ended. As a baseball fan myself, it was awful how the game ended. I feel for Ryan Kerkering. Pages breaks his bat, dribbles one right back to Kerkering, who bobbles it, and you immediately see the panic just explode all over Ryan Kerkering. And the play was to first base, and for some reason he tried to throw it home. I think when he bobbled it kind of towards home plate. He felt that was the best way to go, but Hae-Sung Kim is a fast runner, and he scores. It's going to go down as an error, and it ends the Phillies season. The Dodgers win Game 4, and they move on to the NLCS. So, Phillies, only the 1 run on 4 hits, 3 errors, the difference in this ball game, and 7 left on base. The Dodgers, 2 runs on 7 hits, the 1 error, and 11 left on base. They had base running traffic all night long, just weren't able to capitalize more. Alex Vesia gets his first win of the playoffs. Luzardo gets stuck with the loss, but he pitched well. Player of the game was going to go really to whichever starter ended up winning this ball game, unless there was a walk-off home run or something crazy like that, right? So Tyler Glasnow was fantastic in this one. 6 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, 2 hits, 3 walks, and no earned runs. Couple of my game notes. Glasnow was pulled at 83 pitches. I thought that was going to play a bigger factor. It did play a factor because the Phillies did score immediately after he came out of the game, but the final score didn't matter because the Dodgers still end up winning. That Ohtani intentional walk, I think, is going to come back and haunt the Phillies and Rob Thompson. We're talking about a struggling player in the playoffs, and they decide to put him on base. I get the situation. It makes the most sense. But with pressure on, maybe you pitch to him, you pitch around to him first, see if he grounds out, pops out, anything with Yohan Duran, rather than just giving him the base. Duran's walk, the game-tying walk to Mookie Betts. You just got to pound the zone there, and I think he was. He just, maybe the adrenaline in the moment, it's postseason baseball. It's Duran's first time in the postseason, and great at bat by Mookie, of course, but you got to be more competitive like that when you're the pitcher. Roki Sasaki, gotta shut him out. 3 innings pitched and no runs. He really saved the day for the Dodgers. The bullpen issues they've had recently, especially in the specific 8th inning. And then Ryan Kirkring. He's got to try and shake it off. Phillies fans, don't be too hard on the guy. The offense needed to do better. They had 7 base runners left on base, and they had every opportunity to win. And Yohan Duran walking in the tying run, too, is going to affect that. The game should have been over in the 9th inning, right? So don't be too hard on the guy. I mean, he's a great young pitcher. He's going to be fine going forward. It's a tough one to swallow, of course. As I stated, the Dodgers are advancing to the NLCS. They'll play the winner of the Brewers and Cubs. Happening right now is Game 4. If necessary, if the Cubs win, I think they're up like 3-0 as I'm recording this, they will move on to a Game 5, which would be on Saturday. So, thanks so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you like this video. Otherwise, we will see you later tonight for Cubs Brewers Game 4.